All right, you're still watching your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, right here on TVC. It's still a beautiful Tuesday edition, and trust us to bring you relationship. Today, we're speaking with Nneka Jethro, and she's a relationship coach who definitely believes that marriages have an inbuilt code to accelerate wealth building. I definitely love that. And today, we're discussing balancing purpose, paychecks, and peace, redefining success for working wives. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
For the very first time. We should definitely get you some drums.
Yay.
Drum rolls. Amazing. How are you feeling this morning?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. All right, so now I think I love where you're going to, because I mean, we've been hearing so much about marriage. It's not okay why I should not propose in public. Is why I should not say, do you understand? All manner of things. But I mean, I love the fact that you're bringing the money into the conversation.
Money
because when
is
it comes to marriage, money is very important. Do you understand? So now let's talk about it. First off, how are you involved in, how did you get to the point where you decided that, okay, I want to be a relationship coach and I want to actually help couples through their marriages and relationships?
Okay, that's an interesting question, because I don't think I sat one day and said, oh, I want to be a relationship coach, right?
Okay.
I got married into a church where relationships were taught, right?
Oh.
And then my husband was a leader in the church, and automatically we got trained as family life, coaches, right?
Okay.
So that's where it started from. But if we were to shift a bit and focus more on the money end of things and how we got into that, it's more around the fact that we accomplish certain things in life early. And when friends and family start saying, how did you guys do this thing? You know, I mean, friends and family who know how much you earn have a sense of, we know where you're coming from, we all came from here, so how did you get here? And then we sat down and said, it looks like there's something we've cracked here, right? And Post started giving feedback and saying, no, it's this way that both of you partner in your finances that has accelerated your growth financially. And so we thought, let's start sharing the principles. If it's worked for us, it should work for others. Right?
True.
And I started sharing it at first to employees, focused on employees, teaching them how to run their money and all of that. And then we found out that really the partnership was really instrumental. And so we started sharing those stories, and people started resonating and saying, oh, I started practicing the things that you said, and it's working for us. So, and that's how we started this journey.
So I literally just snowballed into that. And I think I like stories that actually happen like that, because you're literally working from a point of results. You're not working from a point of, oh, this is what I want to do. You're trying to force it to work. Like, you're working from, okay, this is actually working for me. Let me tell you how I got there. Amazing. 100%. All right, now let's talk about it. Marriage and money, very important. So what's the link there? What's the link? Let's start from there.
There are many angles to take this from. But I think that one of the things is to understand that when two people come together, whether in marriage or in any kind of partnership, there's potential to get more growth, right? True. Science has shown us that horses that are groomed together deliver more output. Horses that are brothers, groomed together, double or triple that output. So there's a lot of proof in terms of when people come together and there's synergy, how you're able to create results, right? So that's basic. Now, when we come together in marriage and we actually do it in a way that says we are partners.
Two are better than one.
Basic, right? We are partners. We are not against each other. We're not trying to be two single people. In fact, research has shown that a partnership in marriage gets two people who are together in their finances in marriage have 9 times the wealth of a single female household and 3 times the wealth. So if a single female person is doing 3 million, when she comes together in marriage and partnership, times 9, that's 27.
Times 9, not
times
even
9.
times 3 or
times 9.
Times 9.
And if a guy is doing alone 3 million, comes together in marriage, he does times 3, does 9. So the results are clear. Science is clear. It's just now saying, how do we walk this path? How do we then unpack this? Can it work for everybody?
Please,
that's the question.
Yes. Please, how do we need to get there quickly? Okay, so what would you say are the basic? What's the basic principle for this?
I think the first thing is understanding the possibility, like being aware that, okay, if I get married and we get into partnership and openness in our finances, there is a lot that we can do together. I think it's just, first of all, that awareness, like, okay, and then who are we individually in terms of finances? Because people are different. If you go online, their personality test, some people are spenders, some people are savers. So understanding yourself, knowing your pitfalls individually, right? And then saying, where can we begin to grow gradually? Because for some people, it will take some time. Some people may not be able to get into 100%, sharing immediately. There can be a growth process of learning, you know, and so it's first of all agreeing that this is possible, and then understanding yourselves and your unique differences and saying, how do we come together, right? For example, for me and my husband, I'm the one that likes to budget and reckon. My husband does not like, he says it everywhere. He's the dreamer, so he has the big dreams.
Dream,
you know, and I'm like,
you're the one that pen it down. Yeah.
Where is this? How we understanding yourselves and giving room for that individuality. Those are the first two things. Knowing it's possible, understanding yourselves, and then willingness to start growing together. Okay,
so by the time you get to that point where both of you agree, fine, let's do this together, and now what's the next thing?
I think the next thing is, after understanding yourselves, is then saying, what can we do together first?
Okay, so understand yourselves in regards to, who's the spender, who's the saver,
who's the investor. Even understanding the things that you find fascinating, right? Some people, for a woman, it may be, oh, I'm big on jewelry, so, you know, so let's plan for jewelry for her, right? Because, and the man is like, what's all that? But, you know, understanding that. Someone says the guy is like, oh, gadgets. So, you know, someone says, like, I tease my husband that I give everybody, dash out all the money. He's big on charity and this, so we had to create a budget.
Oh, budget for that.
So that you can speak to your individual needs, your individual preferences.
Yes, and no one feels like, you are...
you know, so we deal with that, and then we then say, let's start with a simple goal. What do we want to do? Usually for many couples, the first thing you will plan together is your wedding, right? And I feel like if you're able to crack understanding yourselves before you start planning your wedding, and through that process, it usually helps. Now, but even if you've already gone fast, to say, what do we want to plan together? And start from there, right? So it's a dream. I remember for us, one of the first things, you know, we talk about this in our book, is I wanted to write a book, not this book, a book of puzzles. And I had never written a book before. I'd never sold books before. And so my husband was like, why do you want to write book? Why should we put such huge amount of money into this thing that we don't know which way it's going to go, you know? And it took us a while, you know, we had to back and forth. Why? So let's start with something first of all, and then test that and then begin to grow from there.
So I mean, planning and organizing, of course, definitely in the course of being married to someone, you definitely have different things planned for. If it's not wedding, it's probably someone's birthday or your child's graduation or something, right? So now, but let's even talk about the basics, right? Talk about the basics of literally financing in marriage. So I think that's where you've come in and said, fine, both of you need to understand yourselves. Now, 100%. Let's talk about people that don't even, people believe fine, as fine, we're a household, but it's fine, you have your money. You know how they say, my money is my money, your money is our money, and all those kind of things. So for you now, right, based on what you've experienced, what you've thought of the people, what would you say should be the basic and standard when it comes to a home? Is it that there should be a common pot, right? Or everybody should have their individual pots? Like, do you understand? So how do you share? Should savings be done together? Should investments be done together? Or like, should they invest individually and probably have one for the family? Or what would you say is the best way to balance things out?
I think that what works for people is different, right? And that's why in talking about this, even in our book, we started from upbringing. So I think you need to also understand where your spouse is coming from. How did their parents run money? Was the father present? Was the mother, because there are stories, I mean, I still heard one recently where the father didn't have a job for a bit, the mother stepped in, then the father got a job, but didn't declare. And so the woman was struggling. And then years later, when the woman was ill, then it now came out that there was money.
Oh, wow.
So people are coming from different backgrounds. So you need to give grace for that, I would say, right? And the next thing is, for us, we don't have we sit down, have a joint account and say this is where all the money must go, right? But the money, every money that comes in is planned together. So if we're planning for this project, it goes from this central pot there, right? So there can be joint accounts, right? There can be joint accountability as well, where there is no hidden money, where there is no, and where
everything is declared.
And that's why I talk about, very important, understanding what everybody's fascination is.
So exactly.
That's why it's important.
It's true, because some men will argue with you, even some women. They'll say, if I declare this money, they will blow it. Do you understand? So they feel that they think it's necessary to hide and say, okay, just for the rainy day, you don't need to know. Like, I had a story of a lady, literally, she was saving money from even the money her husband was giving her, and for the rainy day. But then when the rainy day came, he was upset. How will you have this money, all this while? I said, like, see, it was for today. Do you understand? So how would you say we balance that out? Okay, fine, you know this is how this person is. You're trying to curb the tendencies. What's the best way to go about it?
What you've described is perfect, right? He can be angry. It's okay. You know that he's going to be angry, but it's okay. You know what you're trying to do, right? There are times when I remember we're going to clear our savings to do something, I said to my husband, kind sir, can we go and take education insurance? Just in case.
True. So there's a cover somewhere.
There's a cover somewhere. I mean, we can't, okay, we have our own accommodation, so that's not, but just in case, at least they shouldn't be able to go to school. So one of you would take that role, take on that role of a bit more conservative, a bit more, you know. But if you, both of you are spenders, both of you like to groove and all of that, then create a system that protects. Right? If you have to get life insurance, if you have to get house insurance, but that's being responsible because you have children to be accountable for, right? So the intentionality around that is critical. Okay, so you need to understand that. And then the other thing is, we're not saying 100% immediately bring everything together. So we can declare it and say, you know what? We are starting this thing. Let's bring 50-50 together and then begin to grow. And as we see it prove itself and they see how we can get results, we then do more. So we need to take that journey.
Amazing. I think it's really beautiful. And I love the fact that we're having you for 4 weeks, right? So you're back here again next week and you're coming back with that book. So now let's have the name of the book just for people that actually want to get it. So it's How My Marriage Makes Me Money, Partnerships and Patience in Pursuit of Prosperity. I think this is actually very interesting and very important. And I love the fact that we're going to be talking about it for through the whole of November. Thank you so very much for joining us on this particular episode. Look forward to a session with you next week. Well, we have to go right now because of time. All right, guys, you've definitely heard it from us here on relationship, and Edgar is actually standing by to take it away. Tell me, Edgar, what's going on?